Hello, welcome everyone to this headstand practice flow for yoga inversions. This class will get you ready for your headstand and other inversions such as forearm stand, handstand. We will be activating and strengthening the shoulders and the arms and the core, and we will also get used to this kind of inverted posture where the hips are over the head. So this is a wonderful flow that you can repeat to build the strength that you need, also to build some of the flexibility you need for these kind of poses. So even if you don't have experience with inversions, with headstand, that's completely fine because this video is for you to practice and get ready. And if you're already good at your headstand, this will still help you to strengthen and stabilize your inversions. My name is Jenny and I've been a yoga and meditation teacher for many years. Take a moment to subscribe to my channel. I have so many classes for you, teaching you different poses, different sequences, and I would love for you to be part of our community. And then once you're ready, put on something comfy and let's meet on the mat for this headstand flow. We start today's class sitting on our heels. If this is very uncomfortable for you, you could also sit cross-legged or sit on a prop. And then you want to take one hand onto your lower belly and one hand onto your lower back. And we begin tilting the pelvis forward and backward a couple of times. Want to connect with this part of the body and understand how the position of our pelvis influences the position of our spine. So when we tilt the pelvis forward, so the pubic bone goes down, we kind of curve that lower back. And then when we bring the tailbone down, we round the back. So we do this a couple of times just to get a feeling and also to kind of begin to warm up here. Good. And then we keep going, but we increase the movement. So we take the whole spine along. For that, you can bring the hands onto the knees. So when you inhale, you really lift the heart, tilt the pelvis forward, curve the back, lift the chin slightly, and exhale, rounding the back, really pushing the back away. So the shoulder blades apart. Inhaling, lifting the heart. And exhaling, tailbone down, round the back, navel in. We do this a couple of times. It's kind of like a seated cat-cow stretch, really warming up the spine. Very good. Okay, one more round. Inhale, pubic bone down, lift the heart up, lift the chin, shoulders back. Exhale, tailbone down, navel in, chin into the chest. Good. Inhale, come into a neutral spine. Take the arms over the side, really reach up. And then exhale, interlace all 10 fingers and press the hands up to the sky. Inhale, lengthen even a bit more. And exhale, drop the shoulder blades back down into the joints. So you can pull them up for a moment just to feel the difference, but then drop the shoulders down. So with every inhalation, you find a little bit more length in the arms, and the exhalation maybe takes the upper arms slightly behind the ears, but don't strain, we're just warming up here. So we will do a lot of shoulder exercises, no need to press or push. Check your spine. We tend to curve the back here, so try and bring the tailbone down, slightly lengthen out the lower back. One more breath. And then we release the hands over the side, interlace all 10 fingers behind the back, draw the shoulder blades together, lift the heart up. And one more time, keeping the spine nice and long, really focusing on opening the shoulders. The neck stays relaxed, the jaw stays relaxed. Taking the hands away from the bum and breathing into the chest. Good, and then we release the arms over the side. For eagle arms, bring the right arm over the left arm, cross them above the elbows, and either bring the backs of the hands or the palms together. If this both doesn't work, grab your shoulders. But you want to lift your elbows high and bring the hands away from the face. Draw the shoulder blades down. So we stay for a couple of breaths. And you really want to feel how the shoulder blades are pulled apart slightly on the back without any strain. One more time, there's no need to force anything. We're just preparing the body for our practice, bringing some space into the shoulders, into the upper back. Good. And then release the arms to the sides, changing the sides, left arm over the right arm, wrapping the arms once or twice or grabbing the shoulders, but make sure you pull those shoulder blades apart, keep the neck nice and long, the gaze soft, and just breathe. Good. All right. Right, and then release the arms, bring the fingertips onto your thighs and begin to roll the shoulders. Soft movements. We just want to bring some warmth into the joints, lubricate the joints, let go of any tension, and change the direction as well. Good job. We come onto all fours from here, spread out the fingers wide onto the mat, wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, the lower legs hip distance apart. And we'll isolate the shoulders one more time. We drop between the shoulder blades and then we press up, broaden the upper back. You want to keep the belly firm the whole time so you're not curving the back, but we really just drop between the shoulder blades with the chest, like the shoulder blades are kissing on the back, and then press away from the ground. The arms stay straight, the spine stays straight. We do this a couple of times. Good job. All right. And then again, press away from the floor, tuck the toes under, draw that lower belly in one more time to really stabilize the spine, lift the knees off the ground and hover just about 2 or 3 centimeters above the ground. So I don't know if you can see this, my knees are hovering and you really will feel how the core has to activate now, the whole body. You don't want to collapse into the shoulders, but keep pressing away from the ground. Keep the neck nice and long, look down between the hands, keep breathing. We want to keep that attitude of ease in the mind, in the thoughts and in the breath throughout this practice, even in challenging moments. Good, let's take one more deep breath. And bring the knees down on the exhale. Good job. Walk the hands forward about one length of the hands. Spread out the fingers. Tilt the elbow insides forward. Tuck the toes. Send the hips back and up. Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. And we'll take a moment to pedal the legs. Relieving also the back side of the legs after sitting on the heels. So gently walk on the spot. Bend the knees generously. And just softly release the neck, yes and no. Just to make sure you're letting go of any tension, no rigid movements here. And then take the feet hip distance apart, bend the knees generously, press the belly towards the thighs. And then here, this is a nice moment to practice. Draw the lower belly in and up on your exhale. So it's kind of, you want to zip up, like your lower belly goes behind your navel up to the heart. So you can feel how that lengthens out the lower back. This is the kind of activity we want in our core for stable inversions. Now, once you have the stability in the long spine, you can lengthen the legs slowly, bringing the heels towards the ground just as much so you have a nice stretch in the back of the legs without losing the length in the spine. Reconnect with your hands, press into the ground, lift up through the shoulders. There's usually another centimeter there. And since we want to get used to being upside down, so head down, we'll stay for 3 long breaths. In and out through the nose. One more. And then on the inhale, come forward into a high plank. Now we will stay again. Exhale, press away from the ground. Lift your pubic bone up to the navel. So tailbone towards the heels, shoulder blades apart. One strong line. We take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, send the knees down, but keep them slightly below the hips so you don't change the position of the feet and your hands. And then drop between the shoulder blades as we just practiced and lift up. Let's do this 2 more times. Just the shoulder blades, kiss on the back, and we lift up again. One more. It's like a tiny push-up, but your arms stay straight. And then once your upper back is really, really broad, then with a straight line, lower all the way down to the ground. Tuck the toes or point the toes, inhale, send the heart forward. And now let's stay, exhale, release the hands off the ground. Activating the back, inhale, lift the chest. Stay for your exhale. Good. Inhale here. And exhale, tuck the toes, come back into your downward facing dog. Take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale once more, come into a high plank. Exhale, stay or bring the knees down. Inhale, drop between the shoulder blades. Exhale, lift up. Good. Inhale, you can do this with the knees down. Exhale, last one. Inhale, only the shoulder blades. Exhale, broaden the chest. And then inhale here. And exhale, wither without the knees, lower down slowly. Point the toes, inhale for cobra. Exhale, press the feet down, release the hands. Inhale, feel those muscles on the back activate. Exhale. Inhale here. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Take a deep inhale. And a long exhale. And then slowly walk the feet towards the top of the mat. You can keep the feet hip distance or a bit wider. Soften the knees. Let's dangle the upper body softly forward. Release the neck. You can grab opposite elbows. One more time. We'll spend a bit of time here in this inverted posture, actually, since the hips are higher than the heart and the head. I'll just take a couple of deep breaths. Really try and release the upper body so it can be softened here after the strengthening exercise. And then bend the knees, release the arms with a straight spine, stand up, take the arms over the side, reach up, look up to your fingertips. And on the exhale, hands in front of the heart and step the feet together. Let's take a deep inhale here, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders back and down, and lift that pubic bone up. Practice again your long back. We flow once through sun salutation. Inhale, lift the arms up, look up. Exhale through the center, deep forward fold. Inhale, send the heart forward. And exhale, step back into your plank pose. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, lower wither without the knees. If you practice chaturanga, you can choose that. Inhale your cobra or maybe the up dog if you're familiar. And exhale, downward facing dog. We take a deep inhale and a long exhale. Good. Now this time, walk your hands towards the feet. We'll again come into a standing forward fold, but this time we heel toe the feet apart, so even wider than the mat. See how far you can go, what works for the back of your legs. Lift the heart forward, like half forward fold, and then drop the upper body forward. Now, if your hands or your arms are dangling, that's fine. Don't put any pressure on your spine. Just release the neck. If you happen to have space, you can bring the hands underneath the shoulders or in one line with the toes and drop the crown of the head towards the ground. Good job. Stay for a couple of breaths here. Two more. Only gentle pressure into the ground with the hands. Weight towards the toes. Good. Inhale, come into a half forward fold first. And then exhale, heel toes the feet back together till they're hip distance apart. And then bend the knees, walk the hands back forward into your plank pose. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, one vinyasa, wither without the knees, all the way down or half. Inhale through your back bend. This can be cobra as we practiced, or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Take a deep inhale and a long exhale. Now look forward to the hands and then walk in many small steps to the top of the mat. We'll stay again in our forward fold just for a moment this time. And then we bend the knees so much that we can bring all 10 fingers to the ground. We draw the navel in. We lift the heart up for chair pose, Utkatasana. And again, you have the moment to practice. So you want to lengthen that lower back, draw the belly in and up, arms forward. Very good. Deep breath in. And on your exhale, start to slowly lower down. In the end of this movement, we want to come to sitting. So push the knees forward, bring the belly towards the thighs, the hips towards the heels, and then slowly sit down. If the floor is very far away from you, take your hands to help yourself to sit down in a safe way, and then sit up. We'll strengthen the core a little bit more. We pull the shoulders back for boat pose. Release the feet, lower legs are parallel to the ground. If you need a little bit more support, grab a hold of the back of your knees and lift the heart up. If you're okay, then just straighten the arms forward. If you feel very strong, then take your legs up, but don't fall onto your tailbone, but lift the heart up. So see which option works for you. Take a deep breath in and out. Stay for one more. And you can always release, but if you have some strength left, then come into a half boat. So you straighten the legs, you lean back, but you still keep the spine long. Let's take another deep breath. Good job. And then lay down, stand the feet up. Bring your hands onto the belly just for a moment to breathe. Very good. All right. We'll do an exercise which we call reclined crow pose. So you straighten your arms up to the sky and you flex your hands as if you wanted to push away the ceiling. Now we want to bring the knees onto the upper arms, but we don't do this with momentum, but we bring the knees up and then we pull from the center, so from our core, and we lift our pelvis off the ground. And then you press the knees towards the arms. And then you come back down. Very good. Let's do this a couple of times. And I want you to go really slow. So try not come up with a lot of momentum. And even if this is really hard, even if you just come up a little bit. Because this pull from the center, this compression strength is what we will need later to come into a headstand. So really try and practice this slowly. If this is really easy for you, you could try to do this with straight legs. See how that goes. But really pull. So just see where your area is today. Take a moment to practice this. And I really want you to be able to feel the belly. So pull the knees up and you can even hold. This is actually quite hard to hold. I can really feel my belly. And then release. Very good. Stand the feet up, hands onto the belly. Just take a moment to breathe. Good. And then release your feet off the ground. Knees are over the hips. Legs, the lower legs are in a right angle. So parallel to the floor. We bring the palms to touch. We lift the upper body up. And you will already feel the core engaging. So we inhale here. And on the exhale, we pass the hands onto the right side. Good. Inhale back to center without laying the shoulders down. Exhale to the left side. Good. We do 2 more on each side. Inhale to center. Exhale, lift up. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more on each side. Inhale to center. Try and not lay the shoulders all the way down. Exhale, come forward. Inhale. And exhale the last time to the center. Inhale and then relax. Exhale. Good job. Take the knees into the chest. Maybe roll a bit from side to side. Take a deep breath. And then if that's comfortable for you, roll along the spine from front to back, holding your knees, building some momentum. If this is not comfortable, just come over one side. We want to come back onto all fours. So if you're building some momentum, cross your lower legs, roll up, and then come over the knees back into your quadruped. That's where we'll meet. And we'll take a moment to arrive. And then once you have your quadruped, bring your elbows where your hands just were. So directly underneath the shoulders for a dolphin pose. Now there are 2 options. You can keep the lower arms parallel to each other. This is a bit harder in my opinion. Or you can interlace the fingers. This will give you a little bit more support. You want to pull the elbows towards each other. You can grab a hold of opposite elbows to have a nice distance. And this is the distance you want to keep. We'll do a dynamic dolphin. So see how that goes for you today. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees, push the hips back and up like you would in a downward facing dog. You can look towards your toes. Good. And then on your inhale, come forward into a high plank. And you can even pass with the shoulders over the elbows. This will help you to build strength. So chin towards your thumbs. And exhale, come back into your dolphin pose, like down dog on the forearms. Inhale, come forward, come onto the tiptoes. And exhale, come back. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale all the way forward. And exhale. Good. Inhale, bring the knees down. And exhale, sit back. Take the arms alongside the body. Child's pose just for a moment and breathe. 1 more. Refreshing breath. And then come back. We'll start again. So quadruped, elbows where the hands just were. Grab the opposite elbows for you, or the opposite upper arms for your distance. Take the hands parallel to each other or interlace the fingers. We'll go into a dolphin again. And this time we want to stay. So we lift the knees up, press the hips back, press the chest and the shoulders open. The head is dangling. So my head is not placed on the ground. And you can either stay or you walk the feet towards the upper body. So the more you bring your hips over your head, the more weight your shoulders have to carry. You want to remember keeping them open, and you want to breathe. And you can go as far as that feels good. You can even just come onto the tiptoes depending on how much your shoulders can carry today. And let's stay for 3 more deep breaths. This is a wonderful pose to prepare your headstand, your forearm stand, your pincha. Good job. Let's take another deep breath. And the knees down, sit back for your child's pose. Take 2 deep breaths. Good job. Now come back. We'll move towards a headstand now. You don't have to go all the way. And if you felt this dolphin pose was very hard for you, I really recommend practicing this again. Because otherwise, if we don't have a lot of strength in our arms, we put too much pressure, too much weight on the head, and this can result in a headache. So don't do that. But I'll go with you to build up for the headstand, and we see how it goes. So again, you come from your quadruped onto the forearms, you grab the opposite elbows and you interlace the fingers, but this time you don't make a fist, but you actually open up the hands. So they build a nice wall of support for your head. You take the lower little finger in, so you're not wobbling around on it, but you have a really nice firm foundation, and you place the top of your head onto the ground. You tuck the toes, make sure you have all the weight on your forearms, very little weight on the head. Lift your knees and then start walking the feet forward. This is all you need to do for today. Make sure you have a lot of weight on the forearms. Maybe come into the tiptoes, see how it goes. Don't ever jump. Just see how it feels if maybe you bend one leg, so heel towards the bum, and then you bend the other leg. Good. You can do this a couple of times, and you really want to engage the core. So you take the knee as close as you can, the heel as close as you can. You do both sides. Good. And then bring the knees down. Take a child's pose. This is always nice to relieve the neck after putting some pressure on to the neck in our headstand preparation. And you can roll up for a moment and watch. I will show you the next step, and you don't have to follow it, but this way you will see what you can do next time when you feel you have built the strength once you repeated this flow a couple of times. So we build up for a headstand, we grab the opposite elbows. Again, I want to say, make sure you're not jumping into anywhere. And if you really want to try, then you can do this at a wall. You can imagine I had a wall here. You don't necessarily need it, but I'm just saying this for safety reasons. So interlace all 10 fingers. Make sure you have this nice wall of support. Don't bring the hands into a fist, but open them up. Frame your head with the hands. Your head is on the ground, not on the hands. You tuck the toes, you walk the feet forward, and then you take one knee in. And just maybe you can bring the other knee in. And this is all I want you to do. I want you to be able to hold this easily before you do anything else. We never jump into a headstand. And what you can do then now is what we practice on the back. It's basically our reclined crow pose. You see the movement of my hip? It's what I do. It's just the reverse opposite. And once I can do that easily, then maybe I can extend my legs up. And if I want to come back, I do the same thing. I come slowly, slowly, slowly into my child's pose, feet down. And I always take a rest in child's pose after my headstand practice. Good. When you feel ready, Maybe take a moment to practice your dolphin again, or practice the preparation for headstand again, or maybe do the flow again if you feel like you still have some strength. If you feel this was invigorating and you feel energized and you can really feel your muscles, maybe take a moment for a shavasana or some seated meditation. Take good care of yourself, make the most of your practice, but don't ever strain. Be safe, have some fun, and come back for the next practice. Thank you so much for your practice. I hope you feel your muscles and your body activated. I hope you feel confident and you enjoyed this class. Please make sure to repeat this video. You will see the progress so soon, I promise. And also check out my other videos. I have a lot of supporting practices, and I would love to hear in the comments if you enjoyed this class or what you're struggling with, what you're enjoying most. And also leave me some feedback. Let me know what kind of videos you would like to see next, and then I can create a lot of useful videos for you. Have a wonderful day.